Okay guys, welcome to our dated kitchen. So I've just used a couple pans here, and some people want to know, how do we care for cast iron? I also want to know how I get all of these stains off of my tea kettle. I have tried very hard to rub and clean, but if anybody knows how to do that, please mark it in the comments. But we're focused on how to clean cast iron right now. This one actually came for free for Christmas in a little cookie kit, and we just kind of kept it going. Upkeep on cast iron is super duper important because you'll end out with rust, and you don't want rust in your food. So how to properly clean and season your pans. So let me take this over to our sink. Do not use dish liquid. We do not want to use any degreasers on our pans because that is not good for the pans. It will get rid of your seasoning. I hope you can hear me above the water. So here's how I do it. Not everybody does it the same. Here's how I do it. And of course the water doesn't run any faster, so I'm just gonna have to wait for it. This one has a bunch of gunk in it. The other one doesn't. So I have two different methods on how I clean them. So we'll look at both of those methods. Alright, that looks pretty full and good. So let me put you down here for a second. Let me see if I can lean you so that you can still see what's going on. No, I can't. Alright, whatever. Alright, this is heavy. Cast iron is super heavy. Oh my gosh, please don't spill. Alright, I'm going to bring you closer to the pan. Oh my god, please don't spill. I'll put you back on the burner. Okay, the ones that have a lot of gunk in it, we're going to turn on this heat. Put it on high. We're actually going to cook some of that off. Now this one's not so bad. This one I just used for eggs. We do not want water sitting in there. We will use water to clean it out. So I'm basically just going to pour some hot water, swish it around, get rid of the egg gunk. And then I realized I have a camera in my hands and I need two hands to do this. Let's see how I can make this happen. You can see a good view of my toaster oven there. Sorry about my finger in the video. Alright, that's going to have to do her. So, you take either some steel wool, clean steel wool. You don't want to use like dirty, old stuff that you've used for a while. Or you can get some foil, whoop, and just crumble it up. So with that, you just scour it real good, get off all the nasty stuff. I like to get around the edges, and if the bottom looks nasty, the bottom of this one does not look nasty, but we've seasoned this one pretty good. So that's pretty much it on this one. So this one's cleaning stuff. Oh, there's a little bit over here. As soon as you get rid of all of the gunk, there you go. Do a visual inspection. There's a little bit of gunk right there, but otherwise that looks pretty clean. So what we'll do is we need to now dry it. So you can dry it with a towel, but that's not enough. We're going to need to stick this in the oven. So let's see how our other pot is doing with all the gunk on it. It's still cooking, so let's let that come to almost a boil. And then what we're going to do is drain it. If we need to refill it with water and do it again, we're going to refill it with water and do it again. So let's give it a moment to kind of cook it down. Okay, we have a good boil going on this now. You see all the little flakes coming up, all the gunk, all the yucky stuff, all the schputz. So that's all coming up. It's all loosening up from the bottom. So now we could take it, drain it, and probably do one more round on trying to boil it off. Or we could probably take it over here and into the sink, and we can see if we can just scour it out, which, you know, actually that might work. Let's try that. I'm going to need 2 hands for this. Hot stuff coming through. Woo! Steamy! Yeah, oh, that's not bad. All right, I brought out my wok because I wanted to show you something else too. So we're gonna start putting water in the pan again. I hope you guys can see that. There we go, maybe a little better. All right, so what I do then is either take my ball of foil. Like I said, you can either do this, or if you have a clean steel wool. Only a clean one. You don't want one that has a lot of mush in it. It's gross. Don't be nasty. Don't be gross. Now, I've seasoned these pans for a long time already. I maintain them every single time I cook with them. So if you don't do that, or some people season for some god-awful reason, some people decide that they want to season with salt. Okay, kids, so let's go back to our basic science class. Salt plus iron equals rust. That's bad, okay? So, shake it out. I mean, visually, on a visual inspection, all I see is water in there. So, this actually looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. But if you have to boil it twice, boil it 3 times, if you have to rinse out the water and do it more than once, by all means, go ahead. So now we turn on the oven. 400 degrees. Wait, what? Lissa, what you doing? So now that we have these 2 pans rinsed out and scoured, you can see that there's a little bit that is still in there. This is the seasoning. I consider this good. The seasoning is building up. So we're going to throw these 2 pots, these pans, into the oven at 400 degrees. Some people say 20 minutes. I do it for 30 minutes. You see that bacon sitting there? Yeah, we're going to use that in a minute. Don't even bother looking at. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Don't look at my walls. Oh, they're gross. All right, that actually is from my Native American cousins. That's a whole nother video for a whole different day. I'm not into witchcraft. I just burn sage. Tell you later. All right, anyhow, let's go over what I do with my pans. So this is how I store these pans. Now, I have a Victoria. This is a 12. And these other 2 are simply just made in the USA. This is a number 5. That's a number 8. You can see that I have the grease in the bottom. You always, 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 once you clean these, you want to store them with grease on them. Always. So we're going to stick these in the oven. We already have it preheating. It doesn't really matter if it's already hot or not. Whew. But this is still hot from when we just rinsed it out. So I turn them upside down. I turn them upside down so they can drip out a little better in there. And guys, I usually don't have an electric oven, but I had to move away from my house that had a gas oven. So, all right, we're going to close those in there. And then we're going to do something really fancy. Okay, Google, set a timer for 30 minutes.
Sure, 30 minutes. Starting now.
Boom. Okay, so this is how I store these, and I literally just keep them above my microwave or wherever it's convenient for me to keep those. Similarly to my wok. Now, my wok I actually use to nest other things in, other bowls and stuff like that, because a wok is big. So I put grease in my wok. I clean it without a scouring pad. I use something softer. And then what I do is I throw a piece of parchment on it so that I can still nest some bowls and other things in there. And I just throw it above my refrigerator there. So we're gonna wait for the 30 minutes. Everybody says 20 minutes. I do it a little bit longer just to make sure that all the water is off of my pans. I don't want any water on my pans. I don't want them to rust. And then I'm going to teach you how to season them. Yay! So there's several different ways you can do that. And we'll just wait until the oven's done to do that. All right. Okay, timer went off. It is now done. I can turn this off now. And it is time to learn how to season your pans. Yay! So they've been in there for a half an hour now. Some people like to go overboard and put them in for 45 minutes. Probably should have taken out the small one first. This one's really heavy. All right, you can see how dry it is. You can see the previous... I use this one really often. You can see the previous seasoned portion of it, all the brown and white, all the fat that's still on there. But it's dry. We can assume that after a half an hour in the oven that these guys are dry and good to go. So there's a couple different ways that we can season these. We can use, my gram always used to use the spray cooking stuff. I refuse. I will not use spray on my good cast iron. What you could do, if you're a vegan, you can use olive oil. I kind of wouldn't do that either, because anything that's plant-based is not going to have the thickness and consistency to really coat it enough for, if for example you don't use them for a while like these. I always use animal-based fats because they're going to keep them for a lot longer. I mean, especially on this one, look at the grease on there is still clumpy. Just because I kind of overdid it the last time. That's okay. This one doesn't have a lot of grease deposits. Before I was rudely interrupted by the dogs. So there's several ways that you can season your pots and pans. One way to do it is with butter. You can do that. I prefer unsalted butter. This one actually is salted according to the wrapper. Again, because salt is going to cause your oxidization of the iron, and it's going to cause for your iron to become rusty. I haven't used butter on it for almost ever. What I typically use is a real old-fashioned Pennsylvania Dutch thing. We would keep bacon fat on the back of our stove, which is where it typically sits for me. And I would really usually use that for all of my pans. I'm pretty sure that these pans here are strictly seasoned with bacon fat. Now, I did buy this. This was $10. It was at a local camping store. It's cast iron conditioner. The best way to season cast iron cookware. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. It works just as well as bacon grease, which is free. You get it from the bacon that you cook. I just pour it in there. It does have like palm oil, coconut oil, etc. I have used coconut oil. Coconut oil is not bad. But I do still prefer animal products just because they go on thicker. Again, please don't look at them. So gross. I'm sorry. I'm going to use bacon fat on this one. And what I do is I take a little bit, just a spoonful. Okay, that's enough to make it a little greasy. If I need more, I can get another spoonful. So what I do is I rub that around with a little bit of paper towels. And of course I don't have one nearby, so let me go grab one. All right, paper towels. You bunch it up so that you're not touching, because it's still hot. It's still hot from being in the oven. And you want that because it's going to help you spread that grease and that fat a lot better. I like to get all around the edges. Again, you can use butter if you want to. You can use at the cast iron. Oh, look at that fridge. Oh, that fridge is awful. Oh, gross. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. If you guys know how to get rid of that staining, please comment below. I try to keep it, I mean, you can see, I try to keep a clean kitchen. I mean, I really do. So I used bacon grease for this one. You make sure you have it really well oiled / greased. I almost think I want to put a little bit more in there. It looks a little dry in this corner over here. So this one here, let me show you how the store-bought brand works, cast iron stuff. Let me see if I can, there we go. It's hard to squeeze out. There we go. All right, so this is the store-bought brand. This is the cast iron conditioner from the Camp Chef. I mean, I could recommend it. It's not bad stuff. It's really not bad stuff. And of course, don't forget, when you're taking stuff right out of the oven, it's still hot. Like, please, for heaven's sake, protect your hands. Get a little tip of the handle here, like right here. Get around the edges. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. This has a nice gob of grease and flavoring on it. And I just use that camp stuff. So anything that looks dry on this other pot, this pan here, I'm just gonna rub into this. Get the edges, get all of the spots where it could potentially rust. This grease is gonna protect you from getting that rust. So we can take this paper towel here and toss it now. That's all done. But this is how I preserve my pots and pans. And then of course I nest them in each other. I didn't put those away yet so that I can show you. Like I literally just nest them in each other. And well, this is one of the big ones, so he would go on the bottom. But, and I can't lift all that. They're very heavy. So we'll just put them all together. I'm going to let them kind of just cool down a little bit. And then I can store them wherever I want to. I have a shelf for them. I also put them on top of my microwave up until they're ready for the shelf. But this is how I preserve my cast iron pans. Oh, the little piece ended out in there. There we go. I love the fact that they're nice and shiny. They're greased up. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that you've seasoned them correctly, that they're well preserved. And that's how I take care of my cast iron pans, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them below in the comments. Contact me. And yeah, this is how I take care of my pots and pans. This is coming from an old Pennsylvania Dutchie way of doing it. Again, my grandma used to use these, the cooking sprays. Sorry, you just saw my open cabinet. Gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open. So, all right, that's how I do it. So please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. This is how to take care of cast iron. Please make sure you do it and do it well. Don't leave it sit for very long. Don't leave it rust. If you do, scour it hard. You can sand it down if it gets really bad and gnarly and almost like a relic type of item. Like, don't let it get to that point, please. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.